Hi Virgo, thanks for joining me for your March 2018 forecast for the month. I cannot believe it's March already. This month is very similar to January's energy in that we start the month on the 1st with a full moon and we end the month on the 31st with a full moon, making it our blue moon. And that's just so rare to begin with, but to have it happen in January and March is even more rare. So I am shuffling throughout the Astro Tarot, astrological forecast, the Mythical Goddess Tarot by Catherine Skaggs and Sage Holloway. I'm really into it. The imagery is so sweet. And I'll be shuffling while I'll talk about the month. Thank you for joining me and for subscribing to this channel. So, full moon, 1st of March, 11 degrees of Virgo. So this is your full moon of closure, Virgo. Lay it to rest. There is a completion and a summation here for you. You could have completed the release of old wounds by the end of February and get prepared for some healing. And there is a release of literally what no longer serves you. I know a lot of people are writing that, you know, in just any post that they can on social media because they've heard it and read it once or twice. But in the 12th house and in the beginning stages of the 1st house is where you truly can release what no longer serves you. And right now it's impacting Virgo. And then your ruling planet on the 6th of March, both Mercury and Venus will enter the sign of Aries. And this will activate the 8th house of intimacy, shared resources, and sex and property, and even the shared resources that have to do with wills and inheritances and estates and planning. You have about 15 days before your ruling planet retrogrades in this area because, yes, we have a retrograde in March, Mercury. And that is on the 22nd of March through April 15th. And he starts his retrograde at 16 degrees of Aries, going back to the 4-degree mark. It would be best to handle your tax preparation and the details surrounding your finances and group money way before the deadline of April 15th. In fact, I would have this completely handled right around the time of the new moon on the 17th of March. You have until the 20th, 21st, but I would not handle money situations, which this hits you, the retrograde, in the 8th house of taxes and money and shared resources. I wouldn't handle them through the 22nd through the 15th, from the 22nd through the 15th. So get them done early. You have 3 weeks from this video. Go. It's just, it is what it is. And I think that Virgo has a lot to go over this year. Your money, the spouse's money, independent businesses, and maybe even property sales and things like that. It's just, there's a lot to tend to. So do so while your ruling planet isn't retrograde in the sector that this is all hitting. On the 8th of March, Jupiter also retrogrades, which isn't as, you know, impactful as a Mercury retrograde. Jupiter is abundance whether he's direct or retrograde, but he does retrograde at 23 degrees of Scorpio on the 8th of March through July 10th, back to the 13-degree mark. So this planet's abundance will be dispersed more slowly in the 3rd house of siblings, communication, vehicle, and expression for Virgo. If you've been working on writing or publishing, this could just go a little bit more slowly right now for you. Also, a new vehicle and modes of transportation might be coming in and out for Virgo in that period of time. And maybe even an upgrade in the car, but then having to kind of go back and do it again is what I'm getting. And maybe it's because some of you have handled this in the retrograde. So see how that applies. Either way, Jupiter slowing down is not as detrimental as your ruling planet slowing down. On St. Patrick's Day, we have our new moon at 26 degrees of Pisces in the 7th house of marriage. New relationship for Virgo. But this same day, the new moon is working with Mars. On the 17th, Mars enters Capricorn. And that's one sign away from Pisces, which creates the 60-degree sextile, this harmonious energy in between your 5th and 7th house of true love and romance and soulmates. I think Virgo has action. Virgo wants romance or wants this relationship to work. And this new energy just might be what it takes to get this up and off the ground. The next few days, spring is here. On the 20th, we've got the sun entering Aries, so the vernal equinox, the cardinal ingress. I just want to go back for a second. I'm being probed to say Mars will be in Capricorn through May 16th. So there's really, you don't have to rush Virgo in making everything work in a new relationship right away. This new moon, this new 7th house, this new marriage or new connection, new monogamy, it doesn't have to occur on St. Patrick's Day, but the idea of this, the seed is planted at that time. Also, speaking of planted seeds, I want to say you're very fertile and you have the propensity to become pregnant from St. Patrick's Day through May 16th, when Mars is in the 5th house of pregnancy and fertility. That is important to note. So tend to that with caution if you don't want to have a little bambino in the next few months. Then on the 20th, we have our sun entering Aries, the cardinal ingress. Happy spring in the northern hemisphere. But that sun in Aries ignites the 8th house of intimacy again. So it's on for Virgo this month. Then the retrograde occurs in the 8th house where you are assessing your intimate connections. Does this really work for you? Are you putting a square into a circle? Virgo doesn't really like to be alone, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be alone. Take a beat, take a minute, because Mercury is going to insist that you do. And there needs to be a review of who you're sleeping with in the 8th house, who's in your bed, who's in your boudoir, and does it really work for you, Virgo? On the 31st, Venus enters Taurus in the 9th house of education and foreign travel and your belief systems. There's a harmony here in between your philosophies, your religions, your viewpoints, and your politics. That same day on the 31st is when we have that full blue moon at 10 degrees of Libra. A lot of double action happening, duality and transits and aspects on the same day. So the second full moon of the month, the blue moon, is bringing a culmination and a shined awareness into the 2nd house, closure, and in the money system, in the budget, putting an end to spending unnecessarily, watching where the money is going. Let's see what's here in the tarot for you, Virgo. I'm always excited to get to the cards. I do want to tell you briefly 2 things. Your VIMEO on-demand medium messages are now available, and that link is in the Show More section below, and that's for March. Also, I'm having a spring special. So I'm going to be increasing my rates effective March 20th, the first day of spring, just slightly. It's just to compensate for increase of fees as a business owner. But up until the 20th, from March 1st to March 19th, I'm running a spring special, and that is, if you've never had or if you'd like a personal Astro Tarot 60-minute session with me, you can purchase that for the cost of a 45-minute reading, which is $125 as opposed to $160. So this offer was actually given previously last month to my clients who are immediately my newsletter subscribers. I update that every month. So if you're a client of mine, you know that this was offered to you last month. But this month I'm opening it up to the YouTubers and to see if any of you would be interested in having your chart and your tarot analysis with me, your reading. And it would be the month to do it. Okay, so Virgo, feel free to watch your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign for a full dose of the cosmos. The first card for you in the month of March is... Okay, legit, this has been out every reading, and I think this is the 7th reading I've done. This is the Lover's card. This is the card of Gemini. I know that by the little Gemini symbol by my finger. Shakti, the ecstatic union. Also, the Roman numeral 6 lets me know this is the Lover's card. It's a sign of Gemini, but it is attraction. It's the 5th and the 7th house working together for Virgo this month. That sextile between the moon and Mars on the 17th. And a few days after, a few weeks after is important. It's bringing in a stimulating connection for Virgo, Virgo rising especially. Okay, Mother of Wind, which is the Queen of Swords. I see a Gemini here in the corner again. Look at that. The Queen of Swords. Could be a Gemini female, could be a Libra or Aquarius. But this energy makes a decision. This is a very clear, concise, and direct energy. And maybe you need to summon some energy of the Queen of Swords in your process of analyzation of who these lovers are and who you're connecting with. Be direct and firm and resolute in your decision-making process, Virgo. Now here we go with the Earth for you. This is the 4 of Coins, establishing boundaries. It's the card of security and shared resources. It's stability. It's what you've saved. It's actually accruing savings instead of spending a lot of money. So when you have that Mercury retrograde in the 8th house of shared resources, it is a time to draw back from what comes out of the wallet and to have some of that replenished. And you'll be going over your budget just in the analysis. Okay, White Buffalo Calf Woman. That's a tongue twister. But this is the card of strength. I get that from the Roman numeral 11 here, and also this symbol of Leo in the corner. Sacred fire. Wow. This bee means strength. She's basically carrying a buffalo on her back and tending to nature. I'm getting the sign of Leo might be important to you, as well as Gemini, in helping you with this decision. And either way, when strength falls next to a coin card, it's a prosperous energy. It denotes prosperity and wellness and physical health and stamina. Your final card is Yamea, the Oracle. Oh, look at that. This is the card of Virgo, the Hermit. Just coming here to say what's up. This is Virgo's card. You might need to retreat, Virgo. Maybe pull yourself out of some of these lover situations in order to assess them. There's nothing saying you need to be in it and buried in it and then trying to decide. Step out of these connections for a minute and then weed out the weak. I hope this was helpful for you. I am wishing you a beautiful month of March. Thank you for subscribing to this channel and for your donations and subscriptions and likes. I appreciate you. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.